be able to be part of the global community, we have to be educated through this means. And that's how we started losing the value of our craftsmanship. That's where we started losing, the value of creating, of building things. I had an interview with a man that makes tie and dye in Kano. And he said to me that the saddest thing is that he's the last generation that will do this. After him, it's done. That means we're about to lose a whole generation of people who actually made things that we used. Because our generation, his children and his grandchildren, they're not interested. They're not interested. When we were doing the auditions for these guys, we asked them one key question. Would you let your kids do what you're doing? Can you guys guess the answer to that question? They said no. If that's not scary for you, I don't know what is. If these guys don't even want their kids to do what they're doing, that's a problem. They want to make enough money to send them to school so that they can become lawyers and doctors and bankers, because that's what society celebrates. And engineers and architects. That's a problem. And so, look forward in the next 10 years. Do you think we're going to have craftsmen? We might not. Right? That's what we're trying to change. Because if at the end of the day we have over 60 million people that are unemployed, and we have over maybe 10 million jobs in trades, how is this possible? What is the disconnection? Right? So that's why we're doing what we're doing. And we started, like I said, with identifying the content. The content, I was at the World Bank, I made a presentation at the World Bank, and I was trying to see how I can paint the idea of why the rate of unemployment is the way it is. And what I did was, in their presence, I connected my laptop to the screen, and I googled Nigerian Tyler. And the picture popped up. And they were seeing the pictures of the tilers. I also googled masons, bricklayers, and they were seeing the pictures, torn shirts, no shirts on. I mean, you can check it out right now. Go on Google and just Google Nigerian tilers, just Google it. Now when you see those images, who on earth will want their kids to be like that? That is the perception, that is the content that shapes our perceptions and our attitude towards these people. And so for us, the first thing is, how do we change that? For those of us that were here yesterday when we had the parade, and we had all the uniforms and they were all here and they were busting out of the screens and all of that, that's the idea. We want to change, we want to create new images that represent what a craftsman, what a technician, what a skiller should be. And that's what you're saying here. So for us, the first thing is changing that perception. What that perception does is it gives them courage. When they walked into this place, because they didn't even know what we're doing, they walked in and they started seeing their pictures. All of these pictures you're seeing, these are these people, right? They started seeing their pictures on the wall, and some of them could not just hold, like they were confused. In their wildest dream, they never thought they were going to be on banners and billboards, right? And some of them were emotional, because if in their wildest dreams or vision, whatever it is that they used to think, they never thought that one day this would happen to them, right? So we start with that, changing that negative perception. I am excited today because we have a lot of media people, including CNN, here covering this. We have a lot of people that would take these images and put it online, and before you know it, when you Google these people or these trades, these pictures will come out. There's no way you see this kind of picture that you're not encouraged to say, I want to be part of this. I want to do this. It's okay for me to do this. So that's one. Two, we also thought about it. If we change the perception and we get people excited and get people to say, yeah, we want to do this, how do we make sure that there's a structure for them to easily get access to training? Take a look at our technical colleges. Let's even just leave what's going on. Our technical colleges, the present state of those colleges cannot produce the best workmen that can compete globally. because our government have ignored that part. Because to them, it's not important. Just like everybody else, it's not important. And so how do we make sure that that changes? And that's why the TVET conference is happening, where we bring in all the policymakers, we bring in all the key stakeholders, and we see how we can start by building the foundation or restructuring the foundation of education, especially when it comes to TVET. So any young person can wake up in the morning after primary school, secondary school, they can go to technical college and learn hairdressing. But there's everything that they need to be able to do that. Every equipment, the right environment that gets them excited to go to school every day. We need to create that. So that was one thing that we're trying to work on. Second is the outcome, right? How do we make sure that the outcome of these professionals is something that is encouraging? Outcome in the sense that how much money do they make, right? And how do they spend that money? What's their yearly income or their annual income, right? And then also, what is the structure around their employment? If I get a job with Sterling, my salary is guaranteed. Every month I get paid. That's a fact, right? As an artisan, I might get a job once. That job can last for a week, and the next time I get a job is probably 3 months later. That's the informalities in that structure. Now, how in that profession? Now, how do we make sure that we're able to formalize it to make sure that these guys get jobs? Yes, it's a service-based business; they don't have to be employed full-time. But how can we create a structure where they can always get jobs easily because clients can access them? The major way of employing artisans right now, and if I'm wrong, you can raise your hand and correct me, is through recommendation. I know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy, right? And I'm not working based on the fact that that guy can do the job. I'm working based on the fact that the guy that I know says he can do the job. So if I don't have a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy, I don't get the guy that can get the job done. That is ridiculous, right? So the informalities and the fact that there's no structure around that space is also one of the biggest problems that we have. So that's another part that we're looking at solving, that we're trying to solve. Now, once we're able to start with the perception, right, change it, get young people to say, okay, you know what, forget this degree that I already have. You know what, put the certificate under my bed. I want to go learn a skill. There's an apprenticeship model or a vocational school that they can get that. And then they decide to, oh, now I have a skill, how do I get a job? There's another platform where you can go in and get access to jobs. And then there's a whole reward system that goes around. So it's an end-to-end system. So when we decided that, okay, this is what we wanted to do, we had the plan in place, and then we started with the first thing, which is the I Create Skills First, to change perception. The Skills First, which is what's happening here, is focused on changing the negative perception and repositioning technical and vocational skill trades as a profitable and positive career path. And how do we do this? I invite young people across various trades. Before now, it was everything skills. It wasn't just construction. To come and showcase their skills, we create an environment like this. First of all, we actually pick the right venue. We don't just pick any venue. Anywhere we go to do this, we do it in the best venue in that place because we want people to understand that these guys are that important, right? So creating a young, vibrant, exciting environment for young people to come and showcase their skills. Have a lot of media guys that can take positive images. So whatever you're doing here today, please make sure that you're taking pictures and you're posting it online. I'm sure that if you have a lot of similar pictures, the search engine optimization will pick it up. And before you know it, all of these images that used to be there will start changing. And once we're able to achieve that, we did that for about 3 years. Started in Abuja in 2018. And then we moved to Kaduna. We did an edition in Kaduna. We did another edition in Enugu, and we had the finals in 2019 in Lagos. Now, after Lagos, we took some of the winners, to the World Skills Competition, which is something like this, but globally, where they have about 88 member countries. Nigeria isn't part of them yet. We're hopeful that our government, Ministry of Education, and ITF, NBTE would work towards getting Nigeria to be part of the World Skills before the next edition. And so we did the event in Lagos, and after that, COVID happened, so we paused. And we said, okay, now that we have a lot of people who now are seeing things differently, how do we make sure that we go into the next stage? What's the next stage? The next stage is to create a more sustainable employment structure. The next stage was to formalize the system. And guess what we did? We decided to build Skillers. Can we put up the video for Skillers? Raphael, Skillers. So please just turn around and look at your screen. I just introduced to you the platform that we created to formalize the employment and recruitment structure
for competent artisans and professionals for that building project, only to get disappointed by poor service delivery again and again. That's why we created Skillers.
I'm Ridwan Ibrahim.
Finding experts for a construction job can be such a battle. You search for competent artisans and professionals for that building project, only to get disappointed by poor service delivery again and again. That's why we created Skillers, a full-stack online recruitment platform where we do all the work to pre-screen skilled top-quality professionals for all types of building projects, from construction to maintenance and renovation. Here's how. You tell us who you're looking for: carpenters, plumbers, bricklayers, anyone, and at what location. We will provide an array of skilled artisans to choose from, displaying their profile with previous work done and past ratings received. We also have a dashboard where you could post available jobs. But don't stress, if you don't have time for that, we can get it done for you. In case you're wondering how we ensure a satisfactory job, not to worry. Project supervisors review projects every day to ensure project quality and completion, all at affordable rates. So go ahead with your brilliant building dreams. And Skillers Workforce will bring you closer to getting it done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we built Skillers. Skillers is a platform, it's a recruitment platform for artisans. What we've done, like I said, the problem we're trying to solve is to make sure that every single artisan, wherever they're from, regardless of their location, their gender, they are able to access the labor market, they're able to access the clients. One of the major challenges, the two challenges. First challenge is some of them don't have access to the network, and so they have to struggle. The second challenge is, out of 100% artisans, only 6% are female. Look at this. There's just 2 females here. When we opened the registration, we had almost 2,000 applicants from across Nigeria. And out of 2,000, only 6 were females. And that's a problem, because there's that stereotype that says if you're a female, you should not do construction. Construction is for male, for a man. That's why they call them workmen and tradesmen. And there's just men everywhere, right? And so we want to change that. Skills has no gender tag. Skills has no gender tag. Doesn't matter your gender, you can do whatever you want to do. So what we're trying to do is, in the construction sector, we discover that, and one of the things that we've gotten from them is, because they are women, they don't even get jobs, because people or the employers feels like they can't get the job done because they are women. And we want to change that. We want to be able to show these employers that these people are capable of getting the job done. So Skillers is a platform that showcases every artisan with an individual profile, where you can see the job that they've done in the past, you can see reviews, you can see ratings and comments from other clients that they've worked for. You can also see their skills level, and how many jobs that they've done, completed. You can even see how much they've earned if they decide to turn that on. You can see how much money that they've earned through the platform. And so we built Skillers to make sure that there's an easy access from client to the artisans. Now, I keep on pausing when I say artisans, because yesterday during the press conference I said something. For us to be able to change perception, we have to start by changing the name. The name already has a perception to it, right? So what we have done is we've changed artisans to Skillers. We don't call them artisans anymore. So every single person that you see here are not artisans. They are now Skillers. Now, anybody that comes into our platform or anybody that decides to say, okay, we want to be part of this, they are no longer artisans. So from now on, I'm going to address artisans as skillers going forward. Now, we also, one other thing the platform does is it also supports employers to be able to monitor their jobs, post the project, know where the project is, build contracts, because these guys don't even have a contract system where, you know, they just write the number, the price of materials on a small sheet of paper, give it to the client pays, they go and come, but there's no contract. And at the end of the day, the client says, oh, I told you to do this, but you didn't do this. But it wasn't so, but there's nothing to prove that wasn't there. But our platform makes sure that there's a contract that's generated from every transaction before it happens. We know exactly what you want the artisan to do, and then if there's an addition, we will let you know that there's going to be an extra cost for this add-on, right? So what the platform does is it has given everyone an opportunity from the skiller side, and also giving everyone an opportunity from the client side, where you don't have to call somebody to get things done. You go to the platform, you create a profile, you post the job, and we connect you to the client. But if you decide to say, I don't have the time for that, which most employers don't have the time for that, just call us. We will create a profile for you, and we'll help you post the job once you give us a description of what you want. Now, the Skillers is built, it wasn't just built by I Create Africa. Like I said, one of the key things that we do here is we work with partnership. We can't achieve this without partners. And we're very open to partnership. And so when we started this, we had 3 key partners that started with us. One was GIZ, Bosch, and Sterling Bank. They believed in our dream, and they plugged in from the very beginning till date. And after we did the 4 competitions, we had a meeting and we said, how can we create this together? This is our next idea for sustainability. How do we create this together? And they came on board. Sterling Bank came and said, you know what? We're going to provide a human capital development loan system where people who want artisans or skillers who want access to tools and equipment and they cannot afford it, we will give them on loan and they can pay instrumentally. Sterling Bank has created that financial system to support them. We also reach out to Bosch, and Bosch says we're going to give them tools affordably. So through our platform is the only platform you can buy Bosch tools directly from Bosch, not from a third party, just to reduce the price. And also, if you're buying the tools from the Skillers platform, you also get it. You can also get it on a discount and also pay instrumentally using the Sterling Bank payment system. And then GIZ said, you know what? I know it's not easy for you to fund, because for them to get on our platform or get on the Skillers platform, you have to go through a soft skill training. After you go through the skills assessment test to be sure that you have the right skills, you go through a soft skill training for 2 weeks, which is supposed to be charged. It's not free, right? So what GIZ said is, we'll pay for that. We'll cover the cost. On board 200 people, we'll pay for the training. So these are partners that are stakeholders on this platform. It's not just, I Create Africa is just the workforce pipeline where we structure how they come out of school, how they get trained, and how they get employment. We create a pipeline for the platform, while Sterling Bank provide the finance for the artisans on the platform. And then Bosch provide the tools on a very high discount on the platform. And then GIZ supports training to make sure that people are onboarded and they're able to get jobs. We're also working with other partners. Now, one thing that we also discovered is when it's a thing that happens in the construction sector when you give people money to buy materials and then they hike the price, right? And you don't know what the price is because you're not in that industry, right? I mean, it has happened to me a lot of times. And so we partnered with LiveEnd, the CEO is here, who's also I'm sure he's going to talk about it, who's also a platform that sells building materials. It's a digital online platform that sells building materials. So through the Skillers platform, if you don't want the skiller to buy the material for you, just click on LiveEnd and buy the material yourself. You get the actual price from LiveEnd, and then I think the transport and all of that is done. It gets to the location, and you don't have to stress yourself about, a skiller telling you, oh, it's is this amount of money and all of that. So what we've done is we have digitized the entire process from employment to funding to getting access to tools and equipment and to getting access to building materials. That's what partnership does, right? So with this system, we strongly believe that if we continue, not just with these partners that we have on board, but with the right partners, because if you notice, I've mentioned 4 partners, right? And none of them are a construction company or a real estate company, right? It's just private sector, people who really want to change things. So I believe that after this event, we've been able to prove to you that we are on the right path and we want to have you guys on board. Because when we have the commissions, we have the associations, we have the institutions, and we all work together, we can make Nigeria work. We can get over 5 million people, which is our dream. Our goal is in the next 5 years, we want to be proud to say we've gotten 5 million people employed. As I speak to you right now, we have multiple jobs on the platform and we don't even have enough skillers to do the jobs. As I speak to you right now. That's the problem. We have more demand than supply, right? So, and that's the reason why we're encouraging young people. And my friends from Elamina here, you can be whatever you want to be. Whatever, a photographer, a Tyler, look at this guy. You can do whatever you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do that, right? You can do whatever you want to do. You can be whoever you want to be, all right? I want you guys to understand that. So, I want to take our time to also make sure that we appreciate all our partners and all our sponsors. And I mean, I think I'm going to do this tomorrow during the award ceremony to thank mostly the young people that's part of our team to put this together. This is one of the hardest things in my entire life. I just enjoy being behind the laptop and just moving things around. It's so easy. But when we have to, first of all, try to convince partners, sponsors, getting people to come on board, they're setting up all of this, it's hard. And this would not be possible without a dedicated team that worked night to night. I mean, if there was something that was trending about CEOs getting cancelled on Twitter, if my guys were not, with me, I'll probably be one of the people that don't cancel. Because we work really hard. We work really, really hard. But I mean, they will be the one to say, Bright, 2 a.m., where are you? We need to work. And I just have the best team in the world. I just have the best team in the world. Because if they were not happy, they would have cancelled me straight. I would have been number 1 on the list, Bright Jaja. So I want to thank my team for putting out late hours, for doing whatever it takes to make sure that this is possible. And also our partners. Without your funds, we can't pull this. And everyone has encouraged us so far. So I think I would now give it to the audience. If you have any key question or any question you want me to address, I'm here to answer. Thank you very much.
Before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, please can you put your hands together for the CEO and founder of iCreate? Can we clap, please? Let's clap. Thank you so very much. I'm sure we enjoyed that. So if we have any questions, please just raise your hand, indicates by raising your hand, and then I'll come to you. But while you prepare your questions, I just want to throw a question straight to are you scared? Don't worry, I'm not about to ask you, are you married? Even though I've indirectly asked you, but it's okay. All right, your first question to you, Mr. Bright. Why are you so passionate about all of this? And what do you hope to achieve, in the long run with this? I'm sure a lot of us would want to know, especially for the young kids who are here.
I think my passion has always been about making sure that every Nigerian has an equal opportunity. I don't know, like people think I'm crazy, but I can't stand. I literally, like when I'm driving and I see young people on the street, I shrink. Like I just hold my steering really tight. Like I can't stand it. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? So my passion came from just trying to solve that problem. I know there are opportunities. I know these young people can get jobs. Why would they have to be on the street begging? or friends that I know that have graduated, I know how smart and how intelligent, most of them way smarter than me in school, and they don't have jobs because they're waiting for something. Like, so for me, it's like, how do we change that? And I'm so passionate about Nigeria. I was telling a couple of my friends a couple of days ago, and I was showing them an opportunity that I got to move to Germany, and because they wanted me to do all of this there. And I'm like, you know, I can just leave right now. Because I have it was a great opportunity. It was everything. It was everything I've dreamt about. You know, just when it comes to, like, you know, just living that soft life. And and they were like, yo, you got to take this. And I looked at them and I'm like, I'm not going to take it. Because they don't need me. They want me, but they don't need me. This country needs me. And this is where I need to be. Right? So no matter how flashy that opportunity is, it doesn't matter. I want to be here. I want to make sure that I do my best to get every young person that I come across an opportunity, and not just me, as a team, as you know, with partners, work together to make sure that we're able to create an opportunity for every young person. And like you said, the goal for us is 5 million people the next 5 years. We have a plan. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So what's today's date? Today's 5th of March. See, talk to me in 5 years' time. I mean, you can go to my Instagram, official Bright Judge, and send me a message. Bright, you said this. It's going to happen. We've already done about 30,000. I mean, in 2 years. So I believe that in 5 years, once we have that structure in place, with this structure now, when we have, let's say, we have one artisan, one skiller, and is able to be successful enough to employ 5 people, and if we have how many, 1 million of them times 5, that's 5 million. So if we get one person to employ 5 people each, to be successful to employ 5 people each and train 5 people, that's 5 million. So we're going to get there. And so that's my goal, that's my vision. My vision is to make sure that in the next 5 years, we can stand and say that we've empowered and employed, gainfully employed 5 million people. Thank you very much. Any other question?
Hands together for him, please. Okay, I have 2 questions. The first is coming from Mr. John, the founder and CEO, Live Vend. Can we put our hands together for him, please?
Thank you very much. First of all, you know you have all our support, and we're always here to be there for you. I think one thing that I was discussing with my colleague when we're out there is the level of participation from the female folk. And I think my question is really about how we can bridge that gap. When we took a walk, we noticed we had only 2 ladies working. But what I was saying to him is, what is more interesting is the fact that when you put out your advert, you had 2,000, you said, and out of 2,000, there were only 6 women there. That is a problem. And I think part of what that problem is, like you said, the mindsets. So how can we look into changing those mindsets so that we can begin to get more female representation as well? I have 6 sisters, I have a mother, I have a daughter, I have a wife. And I know that they are the best things that have happened to my life. So why are they not in the industry?
A round of applause for him, please. A round of applause for him. That's a really good question. So it's I don't know. I think this is just faith, because I was talking to a mentor of mine, Aisha Babangida, this morning at 4 a.m. and I was like, I have just 2 women here. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I mean, during the auditions, once you walk in and you're a woman, I don't even care if you, as long as you decide to do this, because I'm like, I was telling the experts, I'm like, they just pick them. I don't care. Once you're a woman and you walk into our office and you say, I'm a Tyler, I'm like, you don't need to audition. You're good to go. And they'll be like, no, Bright, we're the expert. I'm like, I don't care. Let them just be here. Let them encourage other women that will come and see them. Let them just be here. And then I was telling her, so what do we do? And she said, we're going to create a special award for them. So during the awards night, we're going to have a special award for the women that are participating at this event, where, you know, we highlight and we just encourage them for taking that courage, regardless of societal perception and, you know, regardless of societal stereotype and all of those noise. and a lot of discomfort because, like I said, employers don't want to employ them because they feel like this is not a woman's job. So in the middle of all of those discomfort, you still decide to say, I want to do this, right? So we are dedicating special awards for them. That's one. Two, when it comes to our content creation, like I said, CNN is here. And when they asked me, we want to interview 2 of your winners in the past, I picked the female electrician. So we're going to be projecting them more and more, because like I said, for us to change perception, we need to create a new image. So we want to project them more. If you were at the opening yesterday, you discovered that it was the female that was the star of the show, right? And so we want to continue that. So that's when we will are looking at changing that perception, because once we're able to change that, more young people would see that there's an opportunity here and they'll be part of it. Thank you.
Please, if we're clapping, let's clap better, please. Thank you. We have someone over this side, Mr. Silas Kanak from the Federal Science and Technology College, Kafanchan, Kaduna State, Nigeria.
I'm worried with our technical schools today because the practicals that is supposed to be the core of these schools are no more holding. I say this with every confidence because I've been there for the past 20 years. We don't hold practicals, and there is no how you can produce the skilled men that can serve the nation. I don't know how we can encourage the government to take these technical schools more serious than what it is today. That is our problem, and it is our song everywhere we find ourselves as technical teachers. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. If you noticed, normally when we do this event, we just have the skillers, right? But if you notice now, if you look around, you would see that they have support. Look around. I want you guys to please look around real quick. They have somebody that's supporting them. Those are students from technical colleges. Every single person that you see with the orange vest is from a technical school. You can see them supporting the skillers. So what we're doing is government is not just an institution. They're made by people. They're individuals like me and you, right? And if me and you decide to ignore or look down on skillers or artisans, it's cut across to those people too. And that's the reason why there's more funding going towards our universities than our technical colleges, because they also feel the same way that this is not important. And so what we're doing is we have the Ministry of Education. We partner with Ministry of Education at this event, and that's why we have the young people from technical colleges here to support this initiative, to work with this artisan, to learn from them. The learning is not just for them to learn. For you to be part of the World Skills, the World Skills competition is from the age of 16 to 22. That means every single skiller that's competing is disqualified. They can't compete at the World Skills. The people that can compete at the World Skills are these students. So the reason why we brought them here today is to get them to start working and start understanding how it works. And then once Nigeria is part of the World Skills, we would have these young students represent Nigeria at the World Skills level. Now, I can't explain what the World Skills is like. I think you should just Google it so you can see it. I think the budget of the World Skills is probably maybe 70% of the Olympics. It's huge. It's very huge, right? So what we're doing is we're not just saying, oh, let's leave it to the government. The government are people like me and you. We are creating structures that encourages and that supports the government to do what they have to do. We need to understand that we can't leave Nigeria to the hands of just very few people. Nigeria is such a large country. It's 200 million people. You can't leave it to like just 30 people. It's too heavy. As private sector, most especially, we have to support. We are the people that do the research, that do all of we are the people that are in the field. You know, we understand what's going on. We are out there. We need to work with the government or create structures that supports these systems. We need to partner with them, with the government, to create all of this kind of solutions. So yes, we're working with the Ministry of Education. We're looking at working with the Ministry of Housing, Works and Housing, and other ministries. We're very open to this partnership because we know that we have the solution, they have the structure, and if you combine, we can actually solve the problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Bright. We'll just take 3 more questions. 2 will be coming from students that we have here, and then 1 from Mr. Suleiman. He's into marketing of marbles. So we'll take him first and then go to the students and wrap up for the question and answer session.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, I may wish to know. My name has been said. Suleiman is my name. I'm into marbles.
Okay.
You train artisans for specific fields. Now, the question I may wish to ask, after training them, what do they do? Do you disengage them? Do you recruit them? Do you empower them?
Thank you very much for that question.
Clear?
What?
The question is clear?
Yes, very clear.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. So, like I said earlier, it's an end-to-end system we've created. The first stage is we change the perception. We get young people and to decide and to encourage them to get into trades. That's the first thing that we do. Once that happens, we run an apprenticeship. We don't have a training institution. We work with partners that have vocational schools, and we also run an apprenticeship system. Now, our apprenticeship system is simple. We have these skillers on our platform already. So what we do is we match people who want to work, who want to learn a skill, with skillers that's within their environment for a 6-month to 1-year training. And once they do that and they go through the training, we onboard them on our platform. Our platform is a recruitment platform. It's called Skillers, skillers.ng, where you can go there and see their profile, the work that they've done in the past. You can see ratings, you can see reviews, what other clients have said about them. You can see the skills level. You can see everything on their profile, and then you can employ them through the platform. So we don't just leave them. And within the platform, we also have 2 systems. One, we have the Human Capital Development Loan, and we also have a system where Sterling Bank is partnering with us on that platform, where they provide financial support in the sense of, if you want to buy a tool that you cannot afford, you can buy that tool from the platform and pay instrumentally, right? And then also, if you want to, even for, we're actually moving it to client at some point. We want to, because we really want to get, these artisans jobs, we are going to, an improvement we're doing on the Skillers platform in the next couple of months is clients can actually get access to credit for service. Where you want to build a bungalow and you don't have the funds, or you don't have the funds presently, you can come to Skillers platform and we can give you the service on credit, where you can pay back later. We can build the house for you with our skillers, and you can pay back later. Working with Sterling Bank, we're actually trying to see how we can put that payment system or that payment structure in place, where you have a plumbing issue or you want to furnish your house. As long as you're using the skillers on our platform, they can come and furnish your house on credit. Sterling Bank pays the artisan, and then you pay back, within a financial structure that's created. So we're trying to balance both. So yes, definitely, once they're walking through our doors without skills, they walk out with employment. Our goal is to get to a point where once you're onboarded on our platform in 48 hours, you should get a job. In 48 hours. That's what we're getting into. So yes, we empower them. I don't know if I've answered your question. Oh yes, thank you very much.
Okay, very quickly, we'll move to the next question. We'll take the next question from NOSC School. Victoria from NOSC School, please. She has a question for you, Mr. Bright, and then we'll take Rukaya from LMA International School.
Okay.
Good day, sir. Most of our parents out there are putting pleasure on our mind. That the only way we can be successful in life is to be doctor, lawyers, and some of the professional jobs. And here we are today seeing the importance of being skilled. Is there any advice you can leave to the parents out there, like to reduce the pleasure on yours, because it's much? You need people like us, the students, just as we are investing us, to have more interest in skills. But if our parents are putting pressure on us, how can you achieve your goals?
It shocked you. Over to you, Mr. Bright.
It just really gets me emotional because it doesn't make sense. I'm trying to not get emotional. It just doesn't make sense. And that's the reason why we're doing this, because this is the future. This is our future. We as young people are going through that right now. A lot of young people that are my age are unemployed because of this same narrative, right? And there is a whole future behind us that we're still leading through the same path. Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, right? I don't understand why or where this is coming from. It just doesn't make sense. We need to fix this. We need to fix this. To all the parents, understand this. I understand that we have this ambition that we want our kids to be, but you can't live their lives for them. The rest of our lives is our lives. Your job is to make sure that you create an enabling environment for us to blossom, to bring out that talent within us. Not kill it because you want us to be like somebody that you saw somewhere. It just doesn't make sense. I'm glad this is coming from them directly, because I was saying this earlier today, right? I'm glad it's coming from them directly. How do we fix this? You want to say something, sir? Please go ahead. I don't know. I mean, you're more in the parent's position. I'm not a parent, so maybe.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Igwan Okaisabo. I'm the CEO of Construction Kaiser, and I also run Kaiser Foundation. So I'm a parent, and I also work in industry. So I can understand why the parents do what they're doing. I don't say it's right, but you see, it's cultural. When you look back to the 50s, when the first, or maybe 30s, when the first Nigerians started graduating from university. So the story was, you have to go to school, you have to have a degree. When you come out, you join the civil service, or you be a professional. We need to change that narrative. Don't get frustrated. There's work to be done, and that's what you're doing already. So we need to start to prove that that concept is wrong. Once there's proof of concept, if we see a young lady like her becoming a plumber, making plenty of money, that's what the parents want. Parents want their children to be successful. I have children. I want them to be successful. I don't want my children at age 40 to be living in my house. So that is the pressure that the parents, they don't want you to suffer. They love you, but they're probably approaching it the wrong way. And let me say this world of talent is just evolving. It's evolving every day. What we are talking about now is even changing again since COVID. Things are changing. People are here working in Canada. They are in Abuja, working in Canada online. So the talent space has changed. And people need to understand that and start to change with what they see in the market. So young ladies and young guys, I'm biased to the ladies. I have 3 daughters. So let me tell you, you can be anything. Don't let anybody discourage you. If you feel like being a plumber, go ahead. They are looking for plumbers in Germany. They are looking for them in England. They are looking for them in Canada. My friend told me, he's German. He told me, you have to wait for 4 months to get a plumber to do your work in Germany. So what are we talking about? Who says we cannot even export skills? We can export talent to the rest of the world. I was watching a video a few days ago, and what did they say? That Nigeria's greatest strength is in its people. We should start exporting our talent. We should train these people and even start exporting them. And there's plenty of work. I have a construction company. I don't have good plumbers. I don't have good carpenters. I don't have good masons. I don't have good tilers. My work is suffering. I'm crying out. So we need to match these people with industry, and even the excess we can even export. That's the point I'm trying to make. So parents that are here, yes, I understand how you feel, But we, on our own part, we need to prove to these parents that you don't have to have a university degree or go and study medicine. I've seen people who have studied medicine, they've thrown away their certificate, they've gone to do something else. So we just need to work together and prove that there's success along this path. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
We have someone who wants to make a contribution on the same subject. Mrs. Rowling from Sterling Bank.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, sorry, good afternoon. So I couldn't keep quiet because, one, you're female, and I'm very passionate about young ladies. So I'd like you to Google, maybe after this event, Lady Painter. She's a close friend of mine, and I admire her grit. She used to work in the then Diamond Bank and resigned to become a painter. She's phenomenal at what she does. I'm a mother, have grown kids too. And the one thing I tell them, you can be anything you want to be. So just like Bright has been saying, Mr. Bright Jaja, the one challenge we need to do, we tackle, and this event is already tackling that, is changing the narrative. So by the time you, the younger generation, see that a plumber is well-dressed, a carpenter is fashionable, Google pictures of Lady Painter. She looks good and she does fantastic job. She painted a part of Abuja airport and a lot of other fantastic places. So you would also be able to show your parents that is not that old picture that we have. This narrative would completely shape the way you would think. So the one thing I want you to know is that as a woman, as a growing girl, you can be anything you want to be. Don't be limited by those big nomenclature, doctor, anything you want to be a carpenter, create that. Be that mark in that industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm so sorry for getting carried away by my emotions. I think it's very important. I understand, like you said, I understand where the parents are coming from. They want the best for my dad wanted the best for me growing up, even if we fought every single time about what I wanted to do. My story is totally, I think I can relate because my story was totally different. It aligns. At some point I told my dad I'm not doing this, and I just left the house and I tried to do what I wanted to do myself. So it's not, I understand where you're coming from, but the parents also want the best for us. No parent wants their child to be broke and struggling, right? And that's the reason why we're here. We're here to create a structure that makes sure that your parents can say, oh, there's Skillers now, or there's this platform now that exists. It's okay to do whatever you want to do, because I can see an Uber driver that is successful. I can see a plumber that is successful. I can see a carpenter that is successful. When they start seeing success, they would be the one to encourage you. Back in the days, nobody wants their child to do music. You know, right? But now, they are opening studio inside the house for their children because they've seen Wizkid, they've seen Davido, right? Same thing with football and other things. So I think once we're able to create a more profitable outcome for artisans and skilled professionals, it will help change the perception of parents. But the reason why I got emotional is because I was saying it doesn't make sense is because the parents have a role to play in making that possible. Our parents are presidents and governors and ministers. These people are parents. They are the ones that have the structures, the policies. So they need to play a role in helping us make that possible, where every single professional technician has an equal opportunity and is able to ascertain success. Thank you.
Please, can we put our hands together for Mr. Bright one more time? Just before we call on, we just have one more question from a student, and then we'll wrap up with this session because of our time. Our time is fast spent. There's something you said, Mr. Bright, that you got angry and you left the house. We just want to be sure that you are not expressly saying that they should leave their parents' house. Okay.
So I mean, one of the key things for me was realizing that my parents want the best for me. My dad wanted the best for me. And it's the same thing. I'm here today because of my mom. But I can tell you, growing up, I hated everything she made me do. Everything she made me do. But that entire process from when I was a child till I was 16 shaped who I am today. I'm standing here working with the most amazing people because my mom did things, made me do things that I would normally hate to do. And I think you guys are probably going through the same thing where they're telling you, do this. It doesn't make sense to you because they see ahead of you. They see way ahead of you. And so, because she saw what she needed me to be, she forced me to do all of these things. And today, I'm benefiting. I'm working really hard. I'm able to, to present myself to people. I'm able to create things because my mom made sure that she forced me to do this thing. So yes, it's not exciting when they ask you to do these things, but it's for your own good. So I regretted, that when I did that, but I came back home, my dad had a talk with me and made me understand, and that's what I think parents should do. You don't just force things on these kids. They're humans too, and they have feelings and emotions. You talk to them, you converse with them, you give them a reason, you reason with them. It's true that you see what they can't see, but you need to bring what you see down to their level so they can also see it. You don't just decide and point them and say, do this because I can see your future. This is what I can see. This is how it works. We need to bring it down to the children and make them understand what the future holds for them and work with them to achieve that. So yes, don't run and leave your house.
Please, it's very clear. I just wanted it to be clear. Can we put our hands together for our mothers, please? All our mothers, please, can we clap? They say those who have great mothers will do more than others. Let's put our hands together unless you're not proud of your own mother. All right, we'd like to take the final question, please. I see and understand that a lot of us may have a few more questions to ask or want to ask, but because of our time, we will come back and then take questions. Please, we'll have another session for question and answers. Okay. So you don't call me since if you don't give me money, me and you go get problem. Okay. All right, we'll take this very quickly, please, for 30 seconds. Hence, what you mentioned, what you said, that we had over 2,000 applicants and then just 6 ladies who applied amongst them. So we have a lady here who is a skilled artisan, so she wants to say a few words, at least to encourage the young lady from North School, Victoria. Please, let's put our hands together for her.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sarah Fatuagada with Forces Skills Academy. I'm an architect and also a plumber with Forces Skills Academy. Well, I know it's not easy for women to rule in a men-dominated world, yeah, but as time goes on, you get to understand that it's not strength, but what's upstairs. You can blend what's upstairs with the skills and bring perfection. Everything a woman touch, there's this perfection in it. When you get a job done and a guy gets a job done, the same job, you tend to see perfection in it. Because as a woman, we have the ability to multitask, but they don't have that ability to multitask. So I feel as women thinking to go into the construction industry, you should be open to new ideas and believe in yourself strongly. Because if I didn't believe in myself, I won't be here today. At first, when I got into the construction industry, when I see guys, I'm scared. Like, can I make this? Can I do this? But as time goes on, I become better and better and best at what I do. And I enjoy what I do. Thank you.
Please, let's put our hands together for her. There was something she said, there's only women that can multitask. Is that true? Eh? Do you want us to have this argument right now?
Yes, it's true. It's totally true.
Okay, so I'll call on the last person to ask a question and then we're done. Yes, but before I do, ladies and gentlemen, someone very special to me, all right, just walked in. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the director of LMA International School. Please put your hands together for my mother, Hajia Jumai Sambo. Can we clap for her, please? Thank you very much. LMA, of course, as you already know, is also supporting this event. So thank you. Big thanks to LMA International School. All right, we'll take the last question from Rukaya, LMA International School.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is, while you were building this platform, did you feel discouraged at any point? Because I, for one, have thought of maybe doing something at this my age that would maybe that would help people in the next future or even the next generation. But sometimes I'm like, would it really work out? Will I succeed in this my plan? And my other question is, what were your challenges? Thank you.
Wow. That's a very hard question. It's a very, very hard question. Yes, definitely. I think one of the biggest problems we have in society is that we live in a world that is cropped. We live in a cropped world right now. What I mean that we live in a cropped world is, especially young people, I'm talking about young people now, because we spend most of our time on social media, we believe that what we see is what it is. And what I mean by that is, everything you see on social media, everything that anybody posts, is the good things that happen to them, right? Only good things. Oh, I'm out here right now, chilling. You know, I'm outside. You know, all of that. That's what's happening, right? That's all you see. And so you start getting into that mental, or you start creating this perception in your mind that that is what life is about, right? And so when you go through difficulties, you feel like you're not supposed to go through difficulties, right? Because everything you see is exciting. Because nobody actually posts that today is the worst day of my life. Or today, this happened to me. Or today, this partner or this sponsor said no to me. Nobody want to post their failures. So because of the absence of failure in the content that we receive, failure becomes bad. Failure becomes something that you're running away from. But I'm here to tell you today that failure is part of the process, right? You don't really fail. You just learn how to do it another way, right? We failed a lot of times. The Skillers platform was never designed to be a construction platform. I always say that it's a fall from failure. We built the platform in 6 months. When I mean 6 months, the entire COVID, when you were at home playing games and doing all of that, an entire team was living in the office the entire COVID. The whole 6 months, when 2020, from January to about October, an entire team were living in the office, like we didn't go home, building the Skillers platform. We built it, it was great. We had all of these people that have gone through our competition. We onboarded them, it was amazing. And then we put it in the market, and it was confusing because we were getting different orders at different points in time. We didn't know how to control it. It was, and people were confused. People were going back and forth. People were going behind the scene to get the artisans out. It was just a lot of things that we did not envision, and we failed. Now we could decide to say we spent a lot of money, a lot of time to create this, design this. Let's just give up. But I know that that is part of the process. And what I did was, okay, this didn't work. We spent money. We lost money. What did we learn out of this? We went back to the data. We're looking at the interaction between the customers or between the clients and the skillers or the artisans on the platform. We were studying all of that, and we discovered that the only way this would work is if we focus on just one industry. But we didn't know that at first. And then we decided to do that. We also learned from all the other things that happened within the system, and we decided to restructure and rebuild the platform. And that's what you see today. That's supporting all of these people. So yes, you will go through hard time. That is, guys, it's okay for something not to work. When you're playing a video game, right? Let's say God of War, right? The first time when you get to a particular first stage, you don't beat the bad guy in the first stage. He probably beats you the first stage, but you understand his weakness the second time. When you're playing it the second time or the third time, you beat him because you now know how he moves, right? So that's how life is. It's like a video game. You try, it doesn't work. You learn from your trial. You try again, it doesn't work. You learn from your trial. The third time you try, you win. So it's okay. Whatever it is that you want to do, the best thing and the first thing is start. No matter what you have, start with what you have. Just start. And when you start, like a car, when you're driving a car, the car doesn't show you, your headlights doesn't show you your destination. It's as you move forward, you see the next space. As you move forward, you see the next space. But some of us want to stand here and see where we're going to. It's not possible. You just keep moving forward. You keep moving forward, and before you know, you're there, right? And one of the key things is also have people around you, because yes, you're going to go through this time, and it's not a fun time. I'm not saying it's, oh yes, it's good, go ahead, and no, it's not fun. It's heartbreaking. It's discouraging. But you have people around you that would encourage you, that would say, keep going. And for me, and I have a problem with Emeka right now because he knows what he just did. For me, that person that I can always call, and that only just knows somehow that something is wrong with me and just call me from nowhere and say, Bright, are you okay? Is none other than the director of Elam International School, Mrs. Chumai Sambo. I can tell you guys for sure that this will not happen. I create generally will not exist without Mrs. Sambo. I can tell you guys for sure right now, it would not exist. 2016 when we started, I had the idea, I spoke to her. She gave us the entire school to run an apprenticeship program for the students. That was where the idea started. Before we went to the world skills, before we started doing competition, it was her first. And she gave us an opportunity. So we're all seated here today because she believed in an idea. And she didn't just believe in the idea, she worked with us, she provided for us, she supported us to get us to this place today. So thank you so much, Mark, and thank you so much for coming. God bless you. That's all?
Yes, that is all. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together one more time for the CEO and founder of I Create Africa. Let's put our hands together, please, for Mr. Bright Jaja. Now we know that he's not just the only founder, there's a co-founder, in fact, the head founder, Hajia Jumai Sambo. One more time, can we give her a big round of applause? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All right, while we were taking questions and answers, one of a very important person walked in, is one of a panelists. He also spoke earlier. Please, can we give a big round of applause for engineer Igwan Okaisabo, CEO, Construction Kaiser Limited. Can we clap for him, please? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All right, in no distant time from now, we will proceed and have the first panel session. So just give us 2 to 3 minutes to organize the stage and all of that, and then we continue. Sorry, 1 second. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just take 2 minutes break. Don't go too far. I mean, I'd want to imagine that you'd like to walk from here to the door. Once you get there, it's 2 minutes already. So basically,
finding experts for a construction job can be such a battle. You search for competent artisans and professionals for that building project, only to get disappointed by poor service delivery again and again. That's why we created Skillers, a full-stack online recruitment platform where we do all the work to pre-screen skilled top-quality professionals for all types of building projects, from construction to maintenance and renovation. Here's how. You tell us who you're looking for: carpenters, plumbers, bricklayers, anyone, and at what location. We will provide an array of skilled artisans to choose from, displaying their profile with previous work done and past ratings received. We also have a dashboard where you could post available jobs. But don't stress, if you don't have time for that, we can get it done for you. In case you're wondering how we ensure a satisfactory job, not to worry. Project supervisors review projects every day to ensure project quality and completion, all at affordable rates. So go ahead with your brilliant building dreams. And Skillers Workforce will bring you closer to getting it done. Finding experts for a construction job can be such a battle. You search for competent artisans and professionals for that building project, only to get disappointed by poor service delivery again and again. That's why we created Skillers, a full-stack online recruitment platform where we do all the work to pre-screen skilled top-quality professionals for all types of building projects, from construction to maintenance and renovation. Here's how. You tell us who you're looking for: carpenters, plumbers, bricklayers, anyone, and at what location. We will provide an array of skilled artisans to choose from, displaying their profile with previous work done and past ratings received. We also have a dashboard where you could post available jobs. But don't stress, if you don't have time for that, we can get it done for you. In case you're wondering how we ensure a satisfactory job, not to worry. Project supervisors review projects every day to ensure project quality and completion, all at affordable rates. So go ahead with your brilliant building dreams. And Skillers Workforce will bring you closer to getting it done. Choose from, displaying their profile with previous work done and past ratings received. We also have a dashboard where you could post available jobs. But don't stress, if you don't have time for that, we can get it done for you. In case you're wondering how we ensure a satisfactory job, not to worry. Project supervisors review projects every day to ensure project quality and completion, all at affordable rates. So go ahead with your brilliant building dreams. And Skillers Workforce will bring you closer to getting it done.